In a headline that shocks no one, Batwoman and Supergirl continue to lose ratings. Yeah. Well, there's the mystery is, how can these shows stay on the air? Well, they're CW shows. Well, what does that mean? Because the shows on CW tend to not be so great. And so what else are they going to do? But how do they keep afloat like that? Well, I guess they have enough to keep going. But these superhero shows, they tend to be expensive when you got to do the special effects and stuff like that. So, it seems like you would dump the ones that just aren't working. Batwoman is just basically only good for jokes. And it's one of those where, hey, it could be so bad it's good. Well, it's mostly just bad. I managed to get through episode 8, and then, of course, the Crisis episode and all that. And then I intended to try to watch the rest of the season and just do and maybe I still will if I catch up, but it's so stupid. I mean, there was this, the costume doesn't fit her. She's really small, doesn't look intimidating at all. And within the plot line, she captures the main villain several times and then lets her go, that catch and release thing. And then terrible things happen as a result. Does she take responsibility for it? No. And then what do? They do special episodes. Did you know that the gay Batwoman was gay and a woman? I mean, it's just stupid, and then the weird thing where she's constantly narrating the story to Bruce Wayne, who's never there. I'm dreading the moment if they actually do bring him in. It could be worse than what Titans did to him. But, yeah, it's strange. Supergirl, was a show that initially I sort of liked, and then it just deteriorated very rapidly. Stupid things because of the narratives have to be politically minded. And so that gets in the way of storytelling, and it also messes up narratives that are already established and whatnot. I mean, most notably, they suddenly had to make her sister gay, not bisexual, which might have kind of made that easier to do. No, she's, in her 30s and didn't know she was gay? And that's how they played it out. She didn't know until she meets a lesbian and suddenly realizes she's in love with women. And now, they had clearly established a narrative there where she may have had feelings for the villain Maxwell Lord in that version of him on the TV show. And then all that just got scrapped, and it's that kind of thing where you mess up your own show for a point that you can't figure out how to fit in. Had she been bisexual and she had a relationship with Maxwell and it goes bad because he's the bad guy, and that's a typical thing, sort of a soap opera like narrative, but it works for superhero stories. It certainly has been a foundation of comic books and whatnot, where you have a heroic character having feelings for the villainous character, and it makes it more difficult to do the right thing here. It's like Batman and Catwoman and stuff like that. And you could have had that. After that goes south and she breaks it off with him, then you have it where she meets a woman and she's into it. Now, that's all you had to do, but they're terrible. They don't know how to do it. And so that was that thing. Then they had to, gay people are not cool kids anymore. Trans people are. So then they had to do that. So they bring in their trans actors, and she's going to play Dream Girl. Well, Dream Girl's not trans. That's not the character. You had a character within Supergirl's own story, not Superman's, which is the story she keeps using because they don't believe in her enough, so they keep stealing plots and narratives and whatnot from the Superman comics. But she had a character called Comet. Now, granted, sometimes it was a horse and sometimes it was a male character. But then they introduced that it could switch to become a woman. So, who was gay and had feelings for Supergirl and all that. They could have wrote it into like that. And so it would have been, granted, its own version of Comet and all that. But it would have worked out better. And besides, they keep doing this alien thing within the show that's just a metaphor for Trump and Mexicans and Muslims and whatnot. undocumented immigrants, and what they just wasted time on that. But within the workings of Supergirl dealing with aliens and whatnot, the fact that she might have had an alien love interest, or at least a character who was interested in her, on that sort of thing, that could have played out to a better story. And besides, it was an original story to Supergirl, not Superman. No. She must be there to take everything away from the male hero. So yeah, and they brought in Superman, and that was interesting for a few minutes, and then of course, he's just there to say, well, Supergirl, you're better than me, and then he quits. But now he's getting his own show, but he can only have it with Lois Lane so that she can remind him that he's beneath her. That's probably what that'll be. But so it's all very sad. With Michelle, I think, not Michelle, Melissa Benoist, I saw potential there, but ultimately she was trapped doing the same character over and over again. And that's sad. And it's a missed opportunity, and I think it's probably too late to do anything with it. As for Ruby Rose here, I actually was pulling for her because she was so badly treated by gay people. I said she wasn't gay enough for the role. The only thing she wasn't enough of for the role is she doesn't have any muscle mass. It's not believable that she can. It's the same thing you run into with a lot of these badass women who are beating off Navy SEALs and they're toothpick-limbed supermodels. It doesn't work. And in Ruby, my goodness, she's a pretty girl, but she's very small. And it's really sad because some scenes, when they turn the lights up, you can see the suit doesn't quite fit her. And then one scene I saw where she was chasing some bad guys, and she wasn't in her suit. She was on a motorcycle, and she's just wearing the helmet, but she looked like a little kid wearing the helmet. The helmet was so huge. And of course, she beats the crap out of him and stuff. You could have rewrote that and give her a better costume that actually fits her. And you could have had it where she devises weapons and devices and is clever and outsmarts the people and write her better that way. Instead, they didn't know what to do with her, and they just said, hey, you know what? She's a woman and she's gay. Yeah, she likes to have sex with women. And guess what? She's a woman. And that's what they do. And it's blatantly stupid. It's exploitive and tokenizing, and it's really, in that aspect, it's bad, but it's just really terrible writing, and that's why nobody watches it. So what the hell? Even for CW, why is it getting a second season and all that? Well, apparently HBO Max just wants material and content for its streaming service, and they'll take anything. Just get it on there. Will it last? Probably not, but there's something there, You would think they'd have a little more than needing CW to produce shows for them, but, well, yeah. So, that's one aspect of it, of why a show like that would continue, but ultimately, I'm thinking Supergirl will get the axe soon, and Superman's show will take her place. But will Batwoman get a third season? I guess if HBO Max wants it, then it will. That's also an explanation for Doctor Who, but that's for another video. Anyway, just a little curiosity here on the ongoing mystery of how bad shows survive. Yeah, even on a network of bad shows, it still baffles the mind on that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching and listening. Say, why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you, including my comic book Night Night over at IndiePlanet.com. You can check out my podcast at RadioMisfits.com, and you can also watch my videos over at BitChute. That's the Mr. Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.